In the beginning, the new gods were formless in image and aimless indeed. On each of the two new worlds, their races had sprung from a survivor of the old. The living atoms of Baldur gave nobility and strength to one, and the shadow planet was saturated with cunning and evil. For an age, these new gods pursued their own destinies until the time of the Great Clash. It will start on New Genesis with these two, Isaiah, the inheritor, and his wife Avia, and happiness, the first sign of coming tragedy. The new god Steppenwolf quietly creeps up on Isaiah and Avia, and he then quickly ambushes them, and the two High Father and Steppenwolf begin to fight. As Isaiah gets the upper hand, Steppenwolf takes out a radio gun. Avia comes up from behind, only to be shot by Steppenwolf with the radion bullet. Isaiah, in anger and disbelief, turns around to attack, only to be met by a golden glove. A golden glove wielded by no other than Darkseid, who tells Steppenwolf that a foe like Isaiah should be put down. The two run away, and as he engineered the incident, Darkseid has begun the war. Isaiah is still alive. The Great Clash, a shattering event which will haunt the new gods for ages to come, roars in upon the demon world of Apocalypse, summoned by a vengeful Isaiah. Teams of flying monitors bring fury destruction in their wake, but far from being a chronicle of the conflict, this is instead the story of personal struggles and the strange forming of the Pact. The monitors are relentless and they range all Apocalypse in fierce waves. Somewhere, Isaiah has drawn the main demon forces in battle, so the large de-energizing bomb can get through. What's left is a dark silent pit, miles deep, miles wide. A meeting is then held by Hegra, Queen of Apocalypse, amongst the new gods of Apocalypse. She informs them that they must hide inside the royal bunkers, as Steppenwolf's army only produces battles and body counts. She says Steppenwolf should be calm, cool, and wise like her darling Darkseid, in which he responds with, "He wanted the war, so now let's see how his inexperience will deal with it." Steppenwolf then says Darkseid lacks experience, but he tells him, "A small metal block, you see. I spend time with our technicians. It occurred to me that in a new age we must seek new roads to tread. Thus, in the small product we may have found one such road. This contains a new but unstable element created by accident here on Apocalypse. The block fades away from you. It vanishes. Fear not, see it returns. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we found one being who could harness this for Apocalypse?" At that instant, Metrons appear and says that it's the X element, which is his on the demands of Darkseid. But Darkseid responds with, "Under my conditions, do you obtain it, Metron? For your Apocalypse, only will you create the matter threshold, the door to anywhere. Take it, Metron, and fulfill your destiny." But Metron is only thinking of rebuilding his Mobius chair. As Metron leaves, Steppenwolf tells him to bow to the Queen. I beg you to overlook my preoccupation with others' thoughts, Majesty. I regret that raw threats must awaken me to common courtesy. I like you, Metron. You are a nice boy. Does it bother you to create this? I have no link with the old gods or new. I am something different, something that was unforeseen on New Genesis or here. You'll betray us all in time, Metron, but this thing you shall build for us, says Darkseid. Back on the battlefield, and across the threshold rumbles the dragon tanks of Apocalypse. The army of New Genesis falls back, as many is killed by the dragon tanks. But it is still an age of heroes, and in the inferno of the Great Clash, there are beings on New Genesis who find another kind of immortality in tragic extinction. The sound of dogs like galloping horses is heard. Raid upon raid is made everywhere on New Genesis. From one such threshold leaps a snapping unit of dog cavalry led by Steppenwolf. He then makes easy work upon the New Genesis army and boasts how Darkseid could never. When Steppenwolf leads, the carnage mounts until the battleground winds beneath the weight and agony of mass death. Nothing lives in his past, yet the enemy staggers and still holds the field. The enemy is hardened, fearless, underlying force. Then, resistance melts before Steppenwolf. He finds himself alone and blasted out of a saddle. Welcome back to New Genesis, Steppenwolf. Let's finish what you have begun. The risen dead, says Steppenwolf. How my heart leaps when I saw you leading your demon pact. And the two, Isaiah the Inheritor and Steppenwolf, begin to battle it out once again. Finishing Steppenwolf, Isaiah turns the cosmic power of his war staff on the other raiders. The raiders vanish through the dimension door. I hear you approaching, Metron. I could sense a silent witness to this fight. Have you come to survey your handiwork? This war is your doing, Isaiah. Can I help it if both sides seek to use me? And when it serves your purpose, you cooperate, and warriors die because of it. Yes, like Faust Steppenwolf, Darkseid knew he'd meet you here. Oh, Darkseid, I want him destroyed. And yet he lives. He climbs step by step. By intrigue, he got war. By war, he got power. And by power, he got Steppenwolf, says Metron. Oh, I've always known Darkseid to be the real enemy, says Highfather. Of course, look. While Steppenwolf lies dead, Darkseid retreats. He retreats with a deadly rain of planetoids. He's making this a techno-cosmic war. Techno-cosmic war produces techno-cosmic machines. Machines that draw the debris of space and send it crashing down upon New Genesis. On Apocalypse, Darkseid has made good use of Metron's methods. Giant biological mutations are bred in Apocalypse laboratories. Turned loose to pillage and kill, New Genesis fight back with equal innovations. Wherever the giants tread, the ground beneath their feet cracks wide from seismic shock and swallows them in its deep recess. But the war grows ever larger. It reaches across the universe, and mammoth suns are transformed into cosmic lasers, designed to cut New Genesis into blazing, lifeless shards. Larger and larger grows the war, larger grows the god machines. An impactor the size of a planet is sent crashing into an enemy captured sun. And inside Isaiah of New Genesis, something dies with each such deed. Where would this end? How can he destroy the cosmos and yet save New Genesis? Isaiah thinks to himself, we are worse than the old gods. They destroy themselves. We destroy everything. This is Darkseid's ways. I am infected by Darkseid. To save New Genesis, I must find Isaiah. Where is Isaiah? Not the warrior, the general, but the true servant of those he leads. Not here, in these tortured ruins of war, but Isaiah is there, somewhere, out there. Out there is an ugly landscape, empty of all that was once New Genesis. Its soft green forest landscapes are gone. The rotting hulks of war machines. Instead of trees, this has become Darkseid's world. A wasteland, seared in crack and gaping, with endless pits in which bacterial monsters play. Darkseid's plan, like foolish Steppenwolf, I've allowed myself to follow the mad dreams of Darkseid, from which no one can survive. I tear off my armor. I reject this war staff. As a weapon, I reject the way of war. Darkseid's game is not mine. Where is Isaiah? Where is Isaiah? The dry wind rises and the elements disturb the sky. Violent electrical flashes trace a stab across the darkened land. Isaiah! The echo becomes a roar. The war becomes 1,000 drums beating to the mad music of the windstorm, driving and driving the questing spirit. To the wall, ageless, inscrutable, it stands as if waiting in the sudden calm for Isaiah to communicate. If I am Isaiah, the inheritor, what is my inheritance? And from the wall, the answer comes. And across the wall, a hand of flame brings Isaiah, the Unifriend, the source. Soon after, Isaiah returns to his command. He dresses in the clothes of peace and carries a new staff. Messages fly between New Genesis and Apocalypse, and while Curious Metron busily works on his Mobius chair, a secret bargain between Isaiah and Darkseid is struck. The strange conditions that form the Pact. On Apocalypse, Tigra questions Darkseid about her missing son. Darkseid tells her that he will be used for a tool of peace. At a signal from Darkseid, Tigra is carried off by her struggling guards. Let us put an end to this war, says Darkseid. An age of peace has begun. The exchange of heirs will seal the pact. Isaiah wants peace. I want time. Time to redefine power. To make this bombed out race a meaningful pursuit. Granny Goodness then walks in with the child from New Genesis. We will jam him into the clanky mechanism you call an orphanage. All the rigors and trials heaped upon the training warrior shall be double for him. His spirits will flag, his bones will ache, until he may conveniently decide to escape from Apocalypse, Granny. Of course, on that day, the pact I agreed to will be broken. Then Darkseid orders his guards to let Orion go. Shunted always from place to place, for reasons never revealed to him, the savage offspring of Darkseid and Tigra move cautiously into this new and seemingly sinister chamber. Then the boy emerges into an adjoining room where an elder with a staff sits. Orion, with knife in hand, says, I was told I'd find my father here. If you're my father, then speak. You won't speak to me. You will never speak to me. You hate me. You hate me, says Orion. Hate is no longer a word in this place. Put down that weapon, son. So you are my father, says Orion. Only if you wish me to be. I am High Father. And you are Orion. We have need of each other, Orion. This is a place of friends. Here is my hand. The hand or the weapon, Orion. I too had to make that choice. Decide. You speak to my liking. I trust you for now. First trust Orion. Then who knows, a great destiny, perhaps. Thus it began, and we move forward once more. Next, Orion, Light Ray, Caliban, and the death wish of Turbo Turpin.